Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Today we are going to learn something about dialogue writing. This dialogue writing skill is there in your syllabus for almost all the classes, right from class 8th and 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. So, this is very crucial, rather very important this writing skill which we have to master. So, instead we will be knowing what is dialogue. A dialogue is a conversation between two or more persons. A conversation between two or more persons. And the dialogue is an everyday social activity. When people meet, they often exchange greetings, interact about whereabouts, professions, hobbies, and other daily routines. तो प्यारे बच्चों, हमने जाना कि ये वो गुफ्तगू है जिसमें दो या दो से ज़्यादा लोग शरीक होते हैं। तो ये हम रोज़मर्रा में करते रहते हैं हमारी समाजी ज़रूरियात के तहत। तो जब लोग मिलते हैं तो वो ग्रीटिंग्स करते हैं, सैल्यूटेशन करते हैं, बातचीत एक दूसरे से करते हैं और इसके अलावा एक दूसरे का हाल चाल पूछते हैं, कारोबार के बारे में पूछते रहते हैं और मशगलात के बारे में भी पूछते रहते हैं और जो भी दिन भर वो काम करते रहते हैं उनके बारे में भी वो जानकारी इकट्ठा करने की कोशिश करते हैं। सो दिस इज़ बेसिक ह्यूमन नेसेसिटी टू कन्वर्सेट with the people, and dialogue thus take place. When we go to shopkeeper, we need to have a dialogue with that person. When we go to medical shop, we need to have dialogue with the doctor, and when we go to the milkman, we need to have a dialogue with him. So this is everyday activity which we have to undergo. But as a writing skill, we need to know some basic points about it. It is basic features, characteristics. So, dear students, dialogues are often the spoken language segment. Yes, this we have to keep on our mind. We have two segments of a language. One is spoken, another is written. So, dialogue is necessarily a spoken language segment and it follows all the rules of spoken language. When we speak, what rules we follow there, same is followed in the dialogues, because dialogue is necessarily spoken language trait. First and foremost thing is we use less formal language in a dialogue, but we use formal language in the writing. When we write an application, when we write to our superiors, when we go for interviews, there we use standard language norms. Standard language norms is what we call formal language. Standard language norms. When we observe standard language norms, we there use formal language. It is mostly used while talking to superiors, while writing official letters, and while talking to the people whom we know very less. When we talk to strangers, we keep decent language norms, and when we write letters, we use these standard language norms. That means we are very formal in our interactions. But in dialogues, we don't observe that much of language norm. For example, let us cite a small example. In formal language, we use for a guest, if he is there, would you like to have a cup of tea? Would you like a cup of tea? Cup of tea. This is for a person whom we know very less. We ask like this, would you like a cup of tea? This is formal. And when we say same informally, when my friend comes to my house, I will simply ask him, do you want tea? Do you want tea? जैसे हम कश्मीरी में उर्दू में कहेंगे चाय पियोगे? So this is informal. So in dialogues we use less formal language. Second is use of contractions. When we write something, we don't usually use contractions. For example, we will use, if we are writing a letter, we will write, I would like to say, I would like to ask a simple question. But when the same is asked in a dialogue, we'll be using this language. I would like, dash, dash, dash. Here, would has been contracted into I apostrophe D. So, when we speak, we don't use I cannot, we say I can't. We don't say I do not, we use I don't. We don't use I will not, we say I won't. So this is what we say contractions. We use contractions in this dialogue writing. And another point is we use slangs. A language that lacks decency. Slangs is the language that lacks decency. Actually, we are having family manners, we are having company manners, and usually with our friends and with those people whom we are more accustomed to, we use slangs. We use less decent language, so it is informal. So we use this slang language, that we are not keeping language norms intact. Then we are having quick advantage of tone and body language of the speaker and listener. Yes, in a conversation, in a dialogue, two people are involved. One is speaker and another is listener. While talking to each other, they are taking advantage of their tone. जिसे हम उर्दू में लफ्ज़ लहजा कहते हैं, लहजा. When somebody talks to us, we listen to the tone of saying. For example, somebody says like this, get out. We see whether if the tone is harsh, then we'll be going out. But if his tone is very low, then we'll be joking. So when we talk, we see the tone, we understand the tone. For example, when somebody is there, we want somebody's attention. Yes. So tone suggested that he wants attention. Otherwise, yes never mean look towards me. And another word, body language. When we talk to each other in this dialogue, we take the advantage of each other's body language. So the tone as well as the body language make our expressions more vivid, and we don't need too much of usage of words. Another basic feature is immediate response and feedback. When we write a letter, then we have to wait for weeks together for a response. For example, by the end of the letter, we write then like this, please reply well in time. And then the letter takes its course of time to reach to the address. Then the person to whom it is addressed, he writes the reply and it reaches. That means it takes very much time. But in dialogue, we have quick response. When we ask a question somebody, where were you yesterday? He answers quickly, I was at home. And what do you think? What should I do next? Then we get the feedback. I suppose you should attend college now. So we are having quick response and quick feedback. So immediate feedback and response is there in dialogues when we write a dialogue. Another point is sentences uttered according to the response received. What we have to ask next when we are engaged in talks? For example, we ask somebody, what is the cost of this bread? He'll be saying 200 rupees kg. Then we frame our another question. I suppose I should get only half a kg. If he says it is 150 a kg, I'll say maybe give me 1 kg of this bread. So biscuits or bread, whatsoever there is. So sentences are uttered according to the response received. First we get the response and we ask. So there is quick response, quick, then we can frame our questions accordingly. Then no strict grammatic rules. In a written format, when we write compositions, we write letters, we have to take care of grammatical rules, and we can never go without them. If we forget writing with perfect grammar, then we'll be losing the marks in the examination. But that is not the case in this conversation. That is not the case in this when we use these dialogues. Yes. For example, we have to write a full question in the writing. What is your name? It is written format. It adheres to the grammatic rules. But in dialogue, in spoken, we may be saying sometimes your name, please. So there is no grammatic rule involved here. It is question simply because of our tone. It is question because of our body language. So there isn't any adherence to the grammatic rules. Then another point is that often lacking standard language norms. That is what we time and again say. For example, sometimes we need somebody's attention, we say yes, he looks towards us. So there isn't any language norms. So these are the pointers which we need to adhere. Less formal language, use of contractions, use of slangs, quick advantage of tone and body language of the speaker and listener, immediate response and feedback, sentences uttered according to the response received, no strict grammatic rules, often lacking standard language norms. Let us see the specimen, this dialogue. See, this is the dialogue written over here between Nasir and me. Nasir, hello, is it 94191255586? Here we simply call hello. This is small salutation. And in the answer, yes, please. As it is means yes, please means yes, I am having this number. Whom do you want to talk? In this we have used formal language. Whom do you want to talk? Full sentence. Here it is formal language. Why? Because the person is yet unknown to us. That is why formal languages were. Then Nasir, could I please talk to Mr. Khan? Since they are not knowing each other well, it is formal language. Again formal language. Yourself, I am afraid Daddy is not at home. Again formal language. Do you have any message for him? Means full sentence. In this dialogue we are witnessing formal language. Formal language. We are observing standard language norms. Nasir, yes, please tell him that the meeting fixed for today stands cancelled. It has been cancelled. See here. It has been cancelled. There isn't a grammatic rule. It should have been, if it had been a written form, It should have been has it been cancelled? Has it been cancelled? Since we are in a dialogue, we have not adhered to the grammar. It has been cancelled. So we are pronouncing it in such a way, in such a tone that it becomes a question. Like this, I will be reading. It has been cancelled. Means, do you say that it has been cancelled? Here, note of interrogation. That is right. So here, grammatic rules has not been observed, and it is genuine in dialogue writing. Nasir, please also tell him to call me back on this number. Then, will you? Question tag. Yes, uncle. I have noted it down and will remind him of it. So in this language, in this first dialogue, we have seen the people who are meeting on the phone are not too much familiar with each other. So that is why here in this dialogue we are having more formal language, and we are having only once the grammatic rule is violated. Let us see the second example here. Hello, Neera. It is so nice to meet you again after such a long time. Here, the two people, Shelly and Neera, they are now meeting physically, and they are saying, hello, Neera. They could say hi or hello. This hi or hello, this is less formal. It is so nice to meet you again after such a time. Here this is formal because full sentence has been used. Neera, same pleasure to me. Here it is in the full. Here we have taken the advantage of familiarity. Here it should have been, I have the same pleasure as you have. Here it has been used, same pleasure to me. My father has again been transferred to the city after 2 years. I again joined Government College for Women last week. Here Shelley, really? Means, is it true? And after really, it is this note of exclamation. Which stream have you taken up? Here question. Neera answers, I have taken up medical stream. Shelley, good. It should have been, that is good. Since it is, quick response to Neera's above assertion. Good means that is good. We have used it smaller phrase here, good. I have also taken medical stream. Oh, really? It shall be a great fun if we got the same section. Shelley, yes. Means yes, it will be a great fun. But which section is yours? Neera, I have yet not known it. They said they would allot the sections on Monday. I pray to God to put us in the same section. Here, whatever is asked by Shelley or Neera is in the response of the answer given by the another friend. So, students, you will get to know about all these complications when you will come across more and more specimen dialogues. Then you will be using all the norms of this, and again we will be having a cursory look on them, where you less formal language, हम उतना ज़्यादा फॉर्मल नहीं बनते, डिसेंसी नहीं दिखाते जब डायलॉग, हाँ जब हम उस शख्स से बात करते हूँ जो हमें बहुत कम मिला हो तो उसके साथ हम फॉर्मल लैंग्वेज इस्तेमाल करते हैं, हम दरखास्तों में फॉर्मल लैंग्वेज इस्तेमाल करते हैं, जब बड़ों से बात करते हैं तो हम फॉर्मल यानी शाइस्ता लैंग्वेज में बात करते हैं। इसी तरह जब हम मुकालमा लिखते हैं, ये डायलॉग लिखते हैं या बोलते हैं तो हम कंट्रैक्शंस इस्तेमाल करते हैं, जैसे आई विल की जगह आई वोंट, आई डू नॉट की जगह आई डोंट, इस तरह आई विल नॉट की जगह आई वोंट। तो इस तरह हम स्लैंग यानी रोज़मर्रा के आमियाना अल्फाज इस्तेमाल करते हैं जब हम बोलते होते हैं, तो दूसरे शख्स के लहजे की मुनासबत से और उसकी बॉडी लैंग्वेज की मुनासबत से हम जवाब देते हैं या सवाल पूछते हैं। اس کے علاوہ ہمارے پاس فوری رد عمل ہوتا ہے ہماری بات کا جو ہم دیتے ہیں، اور اس جواب کے حساب سے ہم اپنا دوسرا سوال فریم کرتے ہیں. اسی طرح ہم جو بھی جملہ پھر بولتے ہیں وہ دوسرے شخص کی جواب کے یا سوال کے جواب میں ہم بولتے ہیں. اور اسی طرح ہم یہاں وہ جو گرامر ہوتا ہے زبان کا اسے ہم زیادہ ایڈہیئر نہیں کرتے، اس سے کبھی کبھار دور بھی رہتے ہیں اور اپنی بات کہہ پاتے ہیں. اس کے علاوہ جو لینگویج کی اسٹینڈرڈ نارمز ہوتے ہیں ان کو بھی ہم زیادہ ایڈہیئر نہیں کرتے. So students, I hope that you would have understood all the lesson which we have discussed today. There could be some weaknesses, there could be some these pointers which we would have not touched, and you will communicate all those things to me. Inshallah, in the next lesson we will try to address them. Hope you will subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are not subscribed it till now, and hope you will subscribe it and you will share my videos with your friends so that more and more students could be get into this fold. Have a nice day. Thanks.